Hi everyone, welcome to PVN Authors. So now let's discuss why variable name doesn't start with digits or numbers. So normally in C language, apart from all keywords, everything in the C program is treated as identifier. So what is an identifier? So identifier can be a name of a variable or a name of a constant or name of a function or name of a user defined data type. So a lot. So here we know that variable name must not start with numbers, but we should have an answer why the variable name doesn't start with number. So I hope so this is the answer for that. So normally we have different phases in compiler: lexical analysis phase, syntax analysis phase, semantic analysis phase, code optimization. So we have different phases, and these are the things behind your compilation phases and execution phase. Normally you will see the compilation and execution, but the scenes behind those compilation and execution are these phases. So the major role plays now to give us an answer is lexical analysis phase. So let me explain what is lexical analysis phase. So in lexical analysis phase, the compiler will try to find out whether your variable is a valid identifier or not. So in lexical analysis phase, the compiler will try to find out whether your variable is valid identifier or not. So for example, if you have a variable like add, so the compiler will know it is an identifier right away when it meets letter A in lexical analysis phase. So in lexical analysis phase, the compiler will determine the valid identifier by testing the first character of your variable. So by testing the first character of your variable, so the compiler will determine your variable is a valid identifier. But if you have a variable like 456 add, if you have a variable like 456 add, so the compiler won't be able to decide whether it is a number or an identifier until it hits A. Until it hits A, and it needs backtracking. And it needs backtracking to go into the lexical analysis phase to determine whether it is a variable or not. So here the compiler, so if you have a variable like 456 add, so the compiler won't be able to decide whether it is a number or not or identifier until it hits A. It needs backtracking because to identify whether it is a variable or not, it needs backtracking to go into lexical analysis phase. But the backtracking capability is not supported in compilers. So normally it is not supported in compilers. It means the backtracking into the lexical analysis phase is not supported in compilers. So that is why the compiler will be in a confusion state. So to determine whether that is a digits, whether it is a number, or whether it is an identifier. So here normally, so the compilers will determine the valid identifiers just by checking the first character. So to improve your code optimization. So that's why the variable name doesn't start with numbers in C. So to improve your performance optimization, that's why the gentleman Dennis Ritchie removed. So this type of, so he added a rule for identifier that the variable names doesn't start with numbers because it totally takes more time. So to determine whether it is a valid identifier or not, and the compilers won't have that capability. So to determine so whether it is identifier or not, even if you make a new rule, but it totally degrades your system optimization. So your optimization will be degraded. So to improve your performance optimization, so the variable's name doesn't start with numbers in C language. So this is the reason behind why variable name doesn't start with numbers in C. So thanks for watching.